Hello. It's your guy here, the unknown, and today I want us to look at something important. As you can see on the screen, it's written. Let's actually simplify trading, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing that is important is the setup. Okay. Already on this channel, we have been talking about the setup too many times. Most of the videos we are focusing on the setups, and by now I'm happy because most people are actually killing it, and most people actually are benefiting from the setups because they've mastered them, and that's the secret. Master the setup, understand it, like you understand your mobile phone, because that's one thing you understand more than any other thing, right? Understand the setup more than you understand any other thing, and whenever it presents, execute it without fear. That's one of the most important things. And on this channel, we focus on two setups. That's day 2 continuation and day 3s. Some day 3s are going to be continuation, but most of them are going to be reversals. Okay, and we are not counter trending every time when the prices are on day 3. We need to either see a bull killer zone or a bear snake pit where we can identify trap traders. If we can't identify trap traders, then obviously that's not a good setup for a day 3. Okay, in that case you can wait for a red day or for a green day. Okay, but most great day 3s are profitable. So I understand that most people are really struggling because they have a lot of setups to actually focus on. Some people have 6 setups, some people have 20 setups, some people have 30 setups. Okay, because I understand everybody wants to excel in the industry, and people are learning every day and from different places. So you must find a setup that aligns with your goals. Okay, are you a short-term trader? Are you a long-term trader? Okay, so if you're a short-term trader, you still, again, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of setups. You must come at least to one setup that you are looking at. That's why on this channel we only look at 2 setups. Okay, because it's easy to know what to look for each and every day. Once you get your signal day, you know what you're expecting tomorrow, because if you don't have a setup, obviously you don't know what you're looking for on a daily basis, and that's the main error that most people are making. Okay, so you need to have a setup. That's the most important thing. Without a setup, don't even be buying or selling, because you don't know what you're doing. You're just gambling. Okay, so for those who are really struggling with setups, those who say we tried but we still don't understand, I have this playbook in the description. It's my personal playbook. Okay, it's the playbook that I use every day. It's in the description. It has only one setup. Why? Because it's important to master one setup, understand it in and out, understand the A to Z of that setup, master it. Once you master it, go and backtest it, and even on the charts you're gonna see it in live time. But if you have 10 setups, obviously you're not gonna see the opportunity when it's presenting. Okay, so I have this playbook in the description. Just get it, and I'm gonna add you to Monday Zoom meetings. We do them on every Monday. They are just question and answer meetings where you can ask any question, but I want only those who have the playbook, because I don't want people coming with different setups and asking questions relating setups that we don't use, setups that I don't understand. There are millions of setups out there, blinder bands, Elliott waves, this and that. We don't use them, so I don't want questions relating to setups that I don't use or understand. Okay, and there are people there, they should be respected. If you're gonna be asking about something we don't use, obviously that's not gonna resonate with everybody, but if you ask something that resonates with everybody, it's gonna be easy for everybody, and we're gonna be learning, and the meetings are gonna be more effective. Okay, that's why I'm gonna add you once you have the playbook. Okay, so if you're really struggling with setups, I have the playbook in the description. Okay, now we got the setup out of the way, because guys, if you go and watch most of my videos on the channel, you realize that we have been talking about setups. Most importantly, watch the one I posted yesterday. That's where you'll get to understand, because I went deeper and explained variations of the day 2 continuations and what a day 3 is. Okay, but even in my playbook, I've explained the one setup that I use and the one that is most profitable for me. So the second most important thing is actually the selection. Guys, I cannot emphasize the importance of selection enough. Selection plays the biggest role in your trading. Selection is important. Okay, and obviously the third important thing is the time. Okay, because I've got comments from people saying this is how to see in real time, which is something that is true. I actually thought it was true when I was starting, but now once you master times, you realize that, oh, this is not really hard. I can see this in real time. Why? Because you have mastered time. Time is important, but you will get the best out of time when you have actually excelled in selecting. Okay, the pairs you select are very, very important. And let's jump into it right now without wasting any further time. So, guys, this is a box, and here is just selection. Okay, selection. Don't mind my handwriting, it's okay. Selection will help you with three things. First of all, when you select, you are actually selecting something you understand, and that is you are selecting a hypothesis. Okay, so by selecting alone, you have a hypothesis. Okay, those who have a research background already know what a hypothesis is. A hypothesis is simply like you have you say, okay, prices are gonna rise tomorrow because they have given a green day. That's a hypothesis. When you come tomorrow, the behavior of price, what prices have done before the session you're going to be trading. I'm going to talk about the session because we are talking about selection, and the session is part of selection. Okay, so if they behave according to your expectations, that's where you'll execute without any fear, without hesitation. Okay, and then a second thing selection will help you with is knowing when to expect volatility. Okay, volatility. Okay, oh, okay, sorry, don't mind. Okay, I'm actually typing rubbish. Okay, you will know when to expect volatility because there is no reason selling or buying any asset if there is no volatility. You don't want to be buying something that's not going to move in price. You don't want to be selling something that's not going to move in price. Okay, if you want to be selling, you want to sell something that's going to move in that session. Okay, so selecting will help you know when to expect volatility. And lastly, selection will help you with time. Okay, and time, as I've already alluded, is the most important thing as well. So guys, let me just show you something here right quick. Okay, if you're gonna be trading the Asian session, you need to be looking at Aussie dollar versus the yen, because this pair moves well in Asia. It makes a lot of sense why it moves well in Asia, because this pair is moved in Asia. And you can also look for its crosses. But if the crosses has to do with Euro GJ, if the crosses have to do something with euro, maybe it's a cross of Aussie dollar with euro, then you must know that the euro is more dominant in London. Why? Because that's when the euro is moved. So you must look for that cross in the London session. Okay, because in the London session the euro is more dominant, the pound is more dominant, and gold can move in any session, right? Okay, if you're gonna be looking for a trade that includes the pound, a currency, you're gonna be looking for an opportunity in the London session. Why? Because it's the pound and the euro. These are two pairs that are more dominant during the London session, right? But if it's Euro USD, now we know that the USD is more dominant in its own session because we have the New York session. So USD and its crosses, metals like gold and oil or silver, whatever it is that you are trading, they are more volatile in the New York session. But again, we said gold can move in any session, okay? But most of the time, gold will move well in the New York session. And besides, this is my favorite session because by the time it trades, already you know who is trapped. And if you have trap volume in the direction of your anticipated hypothesis, then obviously you are good to go. Okay, so metals and indices are gonna move well in the New York session. So if you want to be trading maybe a pair that a cross between pound and dollar, you want to be looking for the opportunity during the New York session. Okay, so when you are selecting, please bear this in mind. Okay, I know that less people trade this session, okay, but most people start trading this session mostly because of volatility and mostly because of availability. Because for me in South Africa, the Asian session comes at 3:30 a.m. That's still early in the morning, and I know that every people watching this video are actually from different continents. So for some of you, you might find the Asian session more appealing to you because of availability. Because I know some people are working maybe during the London session, some are sleeping, and some are only available during the Asian session. So you should be looking at this pair. It moves well during the Asian session, okay? But if the London session is more appealing to you, like for me in South Africa, London comes at roughly 9:30. It starts at 9:30 South African time, which is good, and the equity time is 10:30 South African time, which is good personally for me because it's in the morning. I am refreshed and I don't have a lot of things in my mind, so I'm stress free and mostly in a good state to concentrate on this one. And this one comes a little bit late. It starts at 3:30 South African time, so the equity time will be at 4:30 South African time. During that time, I've rested. Maybe I've been watching a movie, maybe I took a nap, or maybe I just did something completely out of the charts, okay? So I am less stressed, okay? And another thing I'll just emphasize is, if you are stressed in any way, if you are not in a good condition in any way, please do not trade. Why? Because you don't want your emotions to cloud your judgment, okay? So now that we have said this, I'm just gonna mention this in passing. Another important thing is actually the economic calendar. You have to know which pair will have red news when and at what time. This is important when you are selecting, because too much news will obviously either speed up the setup that you have, or else it's just gonna mess up with everything, and they are obviously gonna actually interfere with your trading times. Because I always say, if there is no news, if I don't have red news, I will actually wait for the equity time. That is, if I'm gonna be looking for a trade in the US session, I'm gonna wait for 4:30 South African time, okay? And that is okay, that is 4:30 South African time. That's the equity opening for me, okay? So you know your equity opening time. So that will leave me with roughly 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours to trade. Guys, for those who are saying they can't see these things in lifetime, in real time, it's difficult. Believe me, when you have 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours to be looking for an opportunity, it's easy as ABC. It's easy. Okay, now let's go to the charts and explain most of the things. Okay, say for instance, for those I've already mentioned, for those who are comfortable taking the Asian session, you want to be looking for Aussie JPY or any pair that has to do with Aussie JPY. But once it has the euro and the pound or the dollar, then obviously I just reserve this pairs for the right time, when the dominant pairs, like the, if I'm gonna be taking euro JPY, I want to wait for the London session. Why? Because it's more dominant there. Okay, this is Aussie JPY, and if you look at it honestly, you'll see that it has big moves in Asia. Okay, it has big moves in Asia. Most of the days it has big moves in Asia. Why? Because obviously, you see, this is a pair that moves well in Asia, and then yes, sometimes the move can continue to London or whatsoever, but it has big moves in Asia most of the time, you see. And the reason is simply because this pair is moved from the Asian side. Okay, so once you understand that, obviously now you know that if you're gonna be selecting Aussie yen, maybe because you have a setup on it or a signal day on it, then you know that it's gonna move in Asia. And when you know that it's volatile in Asia, you obviously know that if there are no news, you want to be looking from the equity opening time. That way you have less time to be on the screen, 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours, and you are looking for an opportunity during that time. Guys, there's nothing hard with that, honestly speaking, because out of the whole day, out of 24 hours, you have now eliminated roughly 22 hours, okay, just to look or concentrate on 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours. Guys, that cannot be hard, honestly. Go and try it, you will see. Okay, so now there are certain things I said we do during the weekend, and now today's the weekend. I will be glad to do them with you right here, but I'm not gonna do that for all the pairs. Okay, I'm gonna do it for one or two just to demonstrate. Okay, but we have spoken countless times about this. So we have lows and highs. I use red color. Okay, and then we have, you see this blue dotted line, this is the closing price of the previous week. I have a green color, a dark green color on this one, because now I've trained my eyes to understand that if they see this, you see the size of the candle. If they see this thick lines, I mean the lines, if they see this thick line and the color is actually dark green, then they know that my eyes know that this is the close of the previous week. Okay, and as you can see, okay, I will find obviously I will find the closing price of this week somewhere around maybe here, or they can open with a gap, so I can't mark this one out. I'll mark this one out on Monday. Okay, now how do we select our pairs? Obviously, I said this, the setup is the most important things to have. If you don't have a setup, obviously you don't know what you're looking for. And on this channel we have two setups: day 2 continuation in either direction, or day 3 reversals in either direction. But first we must see a bull killer zone and a snake pit. Okay, and there must be a confirmation. Why? Because we trade proof. We don't catch the high, we don't catch the low, we trade proof. We want the market to break down first, then give that first pullback for us to enter. It gives the first correction followed by an engulf. That's where we enter. Okay, and mostly we'll be entering on smaller time frames. That's where we'll get the best entry. So as you can see, let me just go through this one. This is how I analyze. Now I'm analyzing for Monday with all of you, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm analyzing for Monday in real time, but this is for demonstration of this video, but I'm doing my real analysis here with all of you because I want you to get a feel of the entire process. And guys, remember, it's gonna take time. Okay, it's gonna take time. Nothing happens quick, more especially in this industry. It's all about time. Okay, it's all about time. It's not a get rich quick kind of thing. This takes time, and it's a business. It takes time and patience. Okay, it takes time and patience. It's not gonna happen in 6 months. You're not really gonna be the best in a year. Okay, you grow to be the best over time, because one thing you cannot buy is experience. You can't cheat experience, and in this industry, experience is one of the most important thing. However, you can increase experience or gain experience quick by the amount of time you spend on the charts. How much time do you spend back testing? The more time you spend back testing and looking at your charts in real time, the quicker you're gonna learn. So I will repeat again, these things take time. Okay, and it's all about patience. Don't be looking for quick results, quick things. Hey, you want to do a quick buck, you want to do this now. If that's your goal, then this is the wrong industry for you. Okay, I'll just be honest, this one takes time. It takes time. It's not gonna happen in 1 year. It's not gonna happen in 6 months. You're gonna grow to becoming that big high number or high figure kind of person. Okay, so that's one thing that everybody should understand. Okay, but this is the most profitable industry in the world, because once you understand everything right now, the thing that will matter the most is your lot size. With experience, with confidence, you start taking bigger lot sizes. So only you can limit yourself, only I can limit myself, but it takes time to gain the experience. Okay, with experience and increasing lot sizes, obviously this is one of the most paying industries in the world, but it takes time. It takes time. I don't want to lie about that fact. Okay, it takes time. So this is day 2, because this one gave an inside day, and I don't argue when it comes to like the day count, because obviously you can see this is a red day. Okay, this is a green day. Okay, prices closed, they opened here and they closed here. They opened somewhere here, they closed here. Okay, they opened here, they closed here. As you can see, this is the closing price, but you can see here's the candle, this one opened here and it closed somewhere here. So this is a day one, okay? And this one, some will say, but it broke. It doesn't matter, okay? Here's the thing. Was this enough to trigger breakout traders or traders trading on a daily time frame to enter into the market? No. None of this candle opened and closed above the closing price of above the high of the previous day, as from morning, okay, till when the price is closed. No candle on a 1 hour time frame closed above. No candle opened and closed above, okay? So this to me is an inside day. It didn't really trigger daily time those trading on a daily time frame to enter into the market. So this now is a real breakout, okay? I don't want to be guessing, guys. I don't want to be guessing. And it's not like the small things. What is a break day? It broke slightly. No, that's not important, okay? The most important thing to understand is, did it really break or did it just touch? Remember, there is no coincidence in the market, and they will never give you easy things. They will never give you like things on a silver platter the way you expect them. They are gonna try to trick you and do all sort of stuff, okay? So you must just use what you know to make a decision. This for me is an inside day, okay? So this is day 3. If I am going to be selecting for Monday, what I'm going to do is, I know this is a day 3 and actually it closed sending people up and up. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it opens with a gap down here and then it tries to pull back, not enough to close this, guys, and then it dumps. But if I am selecting it, or right now I'm doing it with you in real time, what I'll do is I will just, okay, move this one to my profiles of ready pairs, okay? But again, as I said, I don't usually focus on the Aussie on the Asian session. But if I'm gonna be focusing on this pair, I will obviously take it because it's on a red day, so I can expect maybe a correction, or else they can come and close these guys. But I don't know if they will close them, but they might not come and close them. As you can see, they are at the high of the previous 2 weeks. Okay, last week's high. They're very close, but there's a high chance that they will not close them, or else they'll open with a gap, close everybody, and then come down. Anyway, anyhow, I will say, okay, on this one I can expect, okay, I will select it, okay, because I don't want to make a decision, say it's gonna dump. No, I'm not gonna say that, but I will say, okay, I will select this one and I will observe it closely on Monday during the Asian session. So obviously, if I'm gonna be selecting this one, I want to show you the most important things, okay? What currency it is? It's Aussie dollar JPY, okay? So what time does this one move? It moves in Asia. So okay, is there any news on Monday? No, there's no news on the economic calendar, as we just saw. Okay, fine. That means on Monday, I will come during the equity opening time. I'm going to use this session to demonstrate to you because Monday hasn't printed yet. But I'm going to do exactly what I'm showing you, okay? So that means I'll be coming in Asians during this time. This is the time, okay? This is the time I will be willing to look for a trade, for an opportunity, because this is the equity opening time. As we already said, equity opening time can throw a stop hunt, or there'll be a pullback, or else they will just continue in the direction that we actually have a hypothesis on, and that's when we take a trade. They can continue with a big engulf. That's when we can take a trade. Or if the engulf is too big, we can switch to a smaller time frame, wait for that little pullback, okay, and then execute it when they give an engulfing after the pullback, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, I'm gonna be looking for a trade from here to roughly here, okay? Because I told you, if I haven't got an opportunity, what I'm gonna do is actually I will be willing to go 30 minutes after the session. Yes, sometimes I even go to an hour, but that's quite rare, okay? Because sometimes I'll just call it a day and just move on, okay? So when this candle closes, that's the time I will press my button. Now you can take a trade, okay? Anytime from now, you can take a trade, okay? So I am not allowed to take a trade in the first hour, because this controls my level of patience. Sometimes they're gonna move in the first hour if there are no news, but I'm not gonna take anything. You know why? Because I want something that controls me. I want to have rules that actually forces me to stay on my hands, because patience is very important in this industry. So the time this candle closes on, I'm just using this session, remember, because I'm analyzing for Monday. That's when I'm gonna say, 3, now you are ready to trade. And up until maybe 30 minutes to an hour after the trade, okay, this is a 15-minute candle. So I will be when this candle closes, if it hasn't given any opportunity, that's when I will be saying, 3, now you can no longer trade. Your trading time is closed for this pair. That means if it's closed for this pair, I'm out of Aussie yen. Okay, I'm out of it. I'm not gonna be looking for a trade on this pair during the London session, and I'm not gonna be looking for a trade on this pair during the US session. Okay, I might just look at it to see if it has given maybe something like a better setup, but most of the time I'm just gonna wipe it out and say, no, I don't care about this one today. It's out if it hasn't presented anything. But if it presents something from this time to this time, that simply means I have roughly 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours, because I'm only willing to stay 30 minutes if the session closes and I don't have an opportunity. That doesn't mean I'm looking for an opportunity immediately when this candle closes. No, I know that they can continue doing their nonsense. I'm looking for a clear opportunity in line with my hypothesis, okay, provided the behavior was was aligning to my hypothesis, provided my hypothesis has not been proven wrong. If it has been proven wrong, I'm just gonna say, okay, for this pair today there is nothing. Okay, so this is what I will do. For those who are saying it's very hard to understand this, guys, it all boils to selection. If you selected a pair that moves or is volatile during the Asian session, obviously you want to be looking for an entry during the Asian session. And if there are no news, obviously you want to be looking for an opportunity during the middle hour, okay, after the equity is open, because they will mostly use the first hour to trap, and then the middle hour is the one that is mostly going to give a trade, or if not the middle hour, the last hour is going to give a trade. Okay, so the middle hour and the last hour, you only have roughly 1 hour 30 minutes out of the whole day. Okay, the reason I say if I don't get anything from here, I'll just say I'm enough with this pair for today. The reason is I don't want to be looking for an entry or an opportunity throughout the day, okay, because I want to eliminate a lot of problems for myself and focus on easy things. Okay, so this pair moves in Asia. If I don't have an opportunity during this time after the equity open, if there are no news, obviously I'm out of it. Okay, so now let's go to GJ, just see what it has presented, guys. Okay, because I'm trading in real time with you. So of course, yes, I will take this one because it gave a day 3, and it might just dump this day, or might end up giving an inside day and then dumping on Tuesday. But I won't be willing to trade this on Tuesday. Why? Because I've showed you the economic calendar. I don't think I want anything to do with GJ on Tuesday. Okay, I don't want anything to do with GJ on Tuesday, because hey, these guys are really violent, and I don't want them becoming violent on me. Okay, so okay, I won't go through all the currencies. I'm just gonna give an example. GJ and Euro JPY do the same thing, right? So we know that they are gonna be behaving the same way. Let me just give you a glimpse. You see what they did? They were going up, okay, boom, and then they closed right at the high of the previous day. This is GJ. Let's go to Euro JPY, see what it did. Let's blow it up a little bit, see what it did. Did it do exactly? This is the closing price of this day. So it after going down, same setup, and there's a reason. Don't say because this candle gave this and gave this, it has to go up. No, there's a reason it closed like this as a first red day. This is a first red, despite the fact that it looks like prices are going up. This is a first red day. Okay, so the following day we will be looking for a setup that aligns with this. If we don't get anything, it's okay, but again, bear in mind that this is still on the front move. Okay, it's still on the front move. It can still go up. So that's why we need it to set up in a way that aligns with our continuation day setup. And besides, we also have the 20 EMA to assist us. We will see. Okay, we will see on Monday. Okay, so I will select this one, but again, once I select pairs like this here, this is the first selection. I'm only selecting pairs that have given a signal day based on the setup. Okay, I'm still gonna go through a second selection where I'm gonna actually eliminate the ones that haven't set up in a good way, because I'm gonna compare all the pairs. Right now I've only analyzed 2, and I don't know what other pairs hold for me, what they have done on Friday. Okay, I know what they did, but now I'm analyzing. I have to go through them again. So what I'm gonna do is actually go through the first selection. I'm gonna go through another selection. That's why this is a process I actually do a day before, because it's a longer process for me. I'm gonna go through it again, okay, and then eliminate. Say for instance, with this first analysis, I might have maybe 6 pairs that have given a potential setup. Therefore, I'm gonna go through them again, because I need to be left with roughly 3 per session, and my favorite session obviously is US. Okay, so I'm gonna select the ones that I've set up in the best of ways. Okay, in the best of ways. That's why on Thursday and Friday, this previous week, what I did was actually I gravitated more towards indices and gold. So I focused on gold, I focused on oil, I focused on Nasdaq, I focused on US 30. Okay, because those are the ones that gave me the best setups, and those are the ones I was actually tracking on Thursday and on Friday. Okay, more than currencies. And I only do that through the second selection, and I might, if I still have more, I'll go through the third selection, where I'm also gonna filter out the ones that haven't set up in the best of ways. Okay, so selection helps you with this. Let's just go through GJ just to see. Okay, this is a first this is a first red day, but don't count much on it, because again it has broken. Okay, okay, because you see there are days that will break and then come down, break and come down, break and come down, but this one has broken the high. So that's one thing that we will take into consideration. Okay, we will take this into consideration. It broke and it closed low. Of course, that's important. So it is a first red day, hence I've written day 1. That's why I will want to see the behavior on Monday. So I am gonna put this one as a tick, as a potential day 2 continuation towards the downside. But again, I repeat, I'm gonna look at the behaviors very well the following day. But this is just the first stage of selection. Okay, because at the end of the day, I want pairs that I've set up in the best of ways. Say for instance, yes, I end up with GJ as one of my potential candidates on Monday. What I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna just show here using this session, because the Monday ones haven't printed. What I'm actually gonna do is, Monday we don't have any news, so I'm gonna be willing to come during the equity opening time. That's the time I will press my button that now it's green, you can open a trade. I'm managing my money in this way. I'm managing my psychology in this way, and I'm trying to control my emotion in this way. I will only press the button that activates trades. Like, this is my mental button. It's like my imaginary button. I will press 3. Now you are ready to be looking for any entry. If I take an entry and whatever the results, I won't blame myself from here. Why? Because I waited for the equity opening time, and I waited for everything. Okay, so I wasn't moved by emotions. Okay, because by the way, there's no news. So if I don't get any entry opportunities here, I will just go 30 minutes beyond, and then if there's nothing, I will close. So I only have 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours to actually take a trade if it's presented. Guys, honestly, first of all, you can't revenge a trade. You can't take 2 trades in 1 hour 30 minutes. You can't. If you take a trade, lose it and take it again, that means you have a very big psychological problem. Why? Because you can't revenge something in a course of 1 hour 30 minutes. Because if you take a loss, what I would prefer is wait an hour to see if I mean, if you're gonna retake a trade again, you can wait for 1 hour. Okay, you can wait for 1 hour just to see if the setup is gonna happen again. And most of the time, you can't revenge. Yes, there are instances where you can take a loss and then take another one and it becomes a win, but that's not something that you should get used to. Okay, why? Because you want to be controlling your emotions, you want to be controlling your psychological capital, you want to be controlling your financial capital, because every time you open, you are risking your real capital. So that's the most important thing. You are risking your money. Okay, so you want to protect your money as much as you can, and one of the effective way to control or to limit or to protect your money is actually waiting for the equity time if there are no news. As you can see here, there were news. So when there are news, obviously we go to a 1 minute time frame, and 1 minute time frame will present a clean opportunity. I've explained this in my previous video. I'm not going to go through it again. I'm just trying to show you the importance of selection. When you selected a pair, if you selected GJ, obviously you know that you're gonna be looking for a trade in the London session. Now you have to know if there are news in that session. If there are news, obviously you're gonna go to a 1 minute time frame, and that's when you will see you will find a very good opportunity. Okay, if there's no opportunity, then because some days there will be news but we won't get opportunities, then there's nothing to take. And what I'm actually saying is that if I don't get anything within this time, I am not willing to come and look during the US session for GJ. Why? Because during the US session I will be looking for pairs where the US is more dominant. Okay, easy as that, okay, easy as that. During the US session, I want to be looking at metals, I want to be looking at indices, I want to be looking at pairs where the US with the US currency, because now I know that we have entered the jungle of the dollar. Okay, so now the dollar is dominant, now the dollar is reigning. Okay, so I want to be looking for pairs that are ready, that have the dollar. However, again, the selection remains the same. I select a day before. Okay, so if during my selection maybe it happened that I had a pair with a pair like this in my selection, I'm gonna look for a trade during the Asia, but I don't usually do that. Sometimes I trade the Asia, because okay, but quite rare. Okay, quite rare. Okay, because I want to have a stable mind when I wake up for the London session. Okay, because this is an industry whereby you don't need any form of stress. Okay, you need to be free. You need to be free of stress in any way. Okay, so if maybe GJ is ready, I know I'm gonna be looking during the London session. If I don't get anything within that hour, 30 minutes, provided there are no news. If there are news, well, then now I have roughly 2 hours, 30 minutes to 3 hours to trade. Okay, but I've tried by all means to have less time. But news are news, you know, news are news, right? So if there are news, I will start looking for an opportunity immediately after those news. And there are days when we'll have news, maybe at 3, maybe twice. There'll be South African time, there'll be news around 3 o'clock, and there'll be news around 5 o'clock. So if I get an opportunity right after the first news, I want to be out before the presenting of the next news, or before the next news. Okay, if I don't have an opportunity, obviously I'll wait for the news at 5 o'clock, and if they present something, I will take it, and by 7 o'clock I'll be out if I'm expecting it to be in and out quick. Okay, so that's the thing that I look for. Okay, so it's all about knowing what time they will be presenting news and what time that session will actually be giving that opportunity. Okay, so this is what selection, this is what happens during selection. I don't know if this clarifies some things for somebody, but I believe it does. Okay, I believe it does. You have a setup which gives you a hypothesis because of the signal days. Now you select your pairs based on that, and once you have selected your pair, you know what you're gonna be looking for the next day. If I have nothing on GJ, obviously I have nothing on Euro JPY. Maybe I'll have something to do with GA. Okay, as you can see, GA has given a first red day and very good day 2 continuation. So on this one, they might give a continuation to a day 3. Okay, let's mark our levels quite quick. I think this is the last one I'm doing. Okay, this is the last one, or maybe I will go to one that has the dollar, so that I can just explain one last piece of this puzzle. But I believe by now most of you understand it already. This is the high, the low of the previous week. This is the closing price of the previous Friday, which you see by using that dotted line. The indicators are in my description, free downloads. If you need them, you can just go and download them for free, okay, and then install them. Okay, this is the closing price of the previous day, and of course that is it. Okay, I will share my template with you, but one thing I won't be able to share is the high and the low of the day, because obviously I don't have permission to share these indicators. Okay, so this one and this one I don't have permission, but they are there. If you search, you can have them. And I obviously have all the indicators for MT5. MT5, I have all these indicators. They are free downloads. But for MT4, I can't share this one and this one. I'll share a template, but it won't have this one and this one, okay? It will only have this one, okay? And maybe the session times, okay? So it is what it is. I know. Okay, and I'm waiting for this level. I don't know where it's going to be based on the close. This is gonna be the closing price of Friday, obviously, but it's just gonna be somewhere here. Okay, this is the closing price of Friday. Okay, this is gonna be the closing price of Friday. It's gonna be somewhere here. So I just use light green because I've trained my brain to understand these colors. Whenever my brain sees this thick light green color, it knows that, oh, okay, this is what and this is what. Okay, so these are some of the levels. If this one dumps, obviously it might just dump to this level or to one of these levels. Okay, but it can also dump to here or to here, but usually it's gonna dump to one of these levels. Okay, so that's what we can also anticipate. So this is part of my hypothesis. Are they gonna do this? I don't know, but this is part of my hypothesis. So I know if they do this, I'm gonna do that. If they do this, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so this is possibly gonna give a dump for a day 3 continuation, or else they might just come and hit day 3s and then reverse. They can still do anything. Okay, so that's why we follow the signal days. Okay, so this one, yes, it will be on a day 3, so I will select it for the first round. Remember, I'm still gonna will be selecting those with setups, and I'm still gonna go through them for the second selection, where I'm gonna eliminate the ones I think I have not set up in a good way. And then let's look at one pair for let's just look at one pair, one US pair. Okay, one US pair. Or we can look at just, but the time, guys, the time is flying, and I'm exhausted right now. I'm tired. Okay, let's just bring the Nasdaq again, and then just try to, oh, sorry guys, sorry, I'm exhausted now. I'm exhausted, but I'm trying my best to give people value. Okay, this is our day 1, day 2. Okay, obviously this might give a day 3 and might give a day 3 trade, or might give an inside day, we don't know, or they might trap. Okay, so when I select a pair, I want to select a pair that is ready, and a pair that will actually give a high probability trade. This is day 1 and this is day 2 continuation. We might get day 3 continuation, so I am gonna select this, and then I'm gonna go through a second selection, and then I'm gonna go through a third selection, whereby I'll be left with roughly 3 pairs per session. And I don't usually trade the Asian session, so I'm gonna be left with 3 pairs for the London and maybe 3 pairs for the US dollar. Okay, or even if it's 1 pair per session, it's still okay, as long as it has given a good setup. And then on the day itself, I'm gonna allow the 2 sessions to trade if it's something to do with the US pair. And then during the US session, I'm gonna see when the US session opens, did it behave accordingly. If it didn't behave accordingly, obviously I'm gonna discard it. Okay, so that's what goes into selection. And obviously, if I happen to select gold and Monday there is no news, gold can move in any session, but I will usually be looking for a US session trade. So I want to know, because when US session opens, you know who's trapped where, how, and what to expect from the market. And you know that, okay, the US session now is the most volatile. Without news, you know that you are coming, or you are pressing your now I can trade button during the equity opening time. And when you do that on a smaller time frame, then you know that what you are actually looking for. Okay, you know what you're looking for, so there is no reason to say actually this is hard in real time. I'll talk about the entries, but I have already spoken about the entries countless time, because I did say that you wait for the equity time. If there are no news, if you want to sell, you wait for this last pump for a dump. It has to have an engulfing candle, because we trade proof. We're not trying to catch the high or the low. Okay, like for instance, if you were gonna be selling during the first hour, for me, I don't trade the first hour, so I didn't take this trade. But what you need, if you're gonna be selling, you need a market that is broken down, you need a pullback, then you need a dump with an engulf. This is actually what you trade. Why? Because the engulf, I've talked many times about it. I don't want to make the video long for unnecessary reasons, but I believe this makes sense to most of you. Okay, I'm still gonna go through these trades, through these setups, and actually select them. Okay, because right now, I just wanted to share this information with you, but I'm gonna go through this one and look for what am I selecting it for. Okay, what am I selecting it for? Because this one can still continue and give us a day 3 continuation. Okay, so I want to see them trapping traders down. Okay, trapping traders down, and then I can take it up as a continuation to this point. Okay, because the main goal is not to counter trending markets, but if they start sending people up, you see they went up and up, and you can see they just use this day to send people up, send people up. Now you can see that this is a bull killer zone. Go to a 5-minute time frame, you will see it so clearly. Go to a 15-minute time frame, you will see it so clearly. You see, this in itself is trapping, sending people up. This now is a bull killer zone. Okay, and you know this is gold. You are looking for a trade anytime, but obviously we're gonna start from London all the way to the US session, but mostly it's gonna be the US session. Okay, but as you can see, this gave a nice pump and dump after the equity time. Nice pump, followed by an engulfing candle, which was a beautiful entry in the London session. This is what you want to see. Okay, and this is your engulfing candle. Now you know who is trapped when and how. Okay, so these are the most important things that go into each and every trade, but I'm not gonna explain these things because of course this one is a day 2 continuation, so I can wait for them to maybe come and trap traders on this level, trap, and then maybe close this one, trap, and go up, or else it can just go up and give a day 3 continuation. So I will select it and see how it behaves through Asian session to London session all the way to US session. Besides, there will be no news on Monday, so it's gonna be a very beautiful day. Okay, so I will select it, but still I'm still gonna go through the second selection, because my goal is to have less is more in trading. The lesser you have to focus on, the more attention you can give to those pair, and the easier it's gonna become to actually get the highest probable trade for the day. Okay, so guys, for those who are new, kindly subscribe. For those who are part of the family, like, share, and comment for the algorithm. The more people this gets to, the better it will be for most of the people. Rinse and repeat. It happens almost every day. Every day you'll have at least 1 or 2 pairs with these setups, or else if you don't have a setup, it's your day to rest. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry, and don't force trades. If you have to guess, don't force it. Okay, that's why I say I'm still gonna go through another selection process where I'm gonna eliminate some of the setups that I see that, okay, they are ready, but they're not the best. Okay, I'm gonna filter them out until I have at least 3. Okay, and then out of those 3, I'm gonna choose one, or maybe I can take all of them. It depends. Okay, just try to you know what they say, you want to actually not to put all your baskets in one, all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so guys, I wish you all the best, and have a beautiful weekend, guys, and have a beautiful week. It's gonna be a crazy week. It's gonna be a very profitable week, but pay close attention to the yen, because I don't trust the Bank of Japan. I really don't trust it, and I will never trust it in my lifetime, because I've seen their capabilities. I've seen how much they mess up with the markets. Okay, so I don't trust the Bank of Japan. So pay close attention to Tuesday. See what they will do. Okay, I wish you all the very best. Good night.